Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. I thought I'd just do a little exercise with you tonight, doing a little bit of mindfulness. I've done mindfulness for quite a few years now and I found it really helpful to myself to just calm the mind, release some anxiety, etc. So I thought I'd just share with you some of the teachings that I've had in the past. I'm just going to turn the music down a bit. So, kind of what I'd like to do over the next couple of weeks is do little lives with you. So, most nights, every night, we'll just see what the schedule goes like, and I'll do little lives. Sometimes it will be a little bit mindfulness, sometimes it will be some meditation, at other times I'm just going to read a passage to you. So it just gives you a break for everything that's going on, and it just allows you to be present in the moment. And that's what mindfulness is all about. It's about being present and just being here in the now and just focusing on what's happening around you and just what you're doing at that moment in time. So I want to give a bit of kudos to David from Samadhi Soundscapes, who has provided the music for tonight. I have one of his CDs. He's an absolute cracking guy. He's a lovely Glaswegian chap. Not only does he create his own music, but he actually makes the hand pan drums that he plays as well. So if you can hear it, I'm not quite sure if you can hear it or not, let me know if you can hear it, let me know if it's a bit too loud, because obviously, you know, I'm not wanting the music to dominate what we're doing tonight. So, mindfulness. Some of you may have practiced mindfulness before, and what I was saying about mindfulness, it is all about just being present, just in the moment, just for you to be aware of where you are just at that moment in time. So it's not to say that you've not to have thoughts, because the mind and the brain is programmed to have thoughts. It's almost like you're doing a wee bit of training with the brain, and so when you find that things are spiralling out of control, you can actually take a moment in time to find that moment of calm, just bring your thoughts right back to the present and almost recalibrating. Now, when I'm doing my mindfulness classes, obviously I do it over a number of weeks, and the classes normally last for about an hour. So these are just like little mini hints and tips that I'm going to share with you on these live sessions. This is one that I actually use with the managers and supervisors. I have a manager and supervisor group that I run at work. We do some courses, and I call this a bit of calibration. So just taking yourself right back to the present moment in time. Now, I'd actually asked you to get a wee object. So I've actually got an array of objects sitting here on my little table. So I'm going to show you what I've got, because this exercise can be done with an object, it can be done just using your hand, just anything round about you, and it's about just grabbing something at that moment in time when you feel that your mind's going off into a tangent, and just bring yourself back to the present. So, weird and wonderful objects I've got a little rhino ornament. It's pretty cool. I've never really spent any time looking at him before. This is my husband's a bit of a collector, so this is something that he's just picked up recently. I've got a piece of selenite, so I've got a palm stone. So if you're using crystals, I do encourage you to use crystals and have one in your pocket at all times, because not only will you get the benefits of the mindfulness, you'll also get the benefits of the healing properties of the crystals that you choose as well. So I've got a bit of selenite, I've got a piece of agate. Agate's absolutely super for de-stressing. Agate has also got a lot of detail on it as well, so agate's got lots of little swirls, etc. on it, so this is great for doing a bit of mindfulness. I've also got this wee object here, which is a Chinese good luck charm that I picked up in Singapore when I was fortunate enough to be there in January this year. It was December actually, just at the tail end of last year. So I picked these up just before the new year, so I've got this object as well. So like I said, your object, it could be anything at all, and to be honest, you could even just use a pen. I did have a pen sitting here beside me. You could use a pen, you could use a CD. Here I've got David's CD. So that's a chap that I've got playing in the background. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start to bring the mind into a bit of a slower mode. So I just want you to get a bit comfortable. Just relax wherever you're sitting. You could close your eyes, you could keep your eyes open, but for a moment I would just encourage you just to kind of close your eyes and just breathe down. So take a nice deep breath and breathe down. And breathe in and breathe down. Excuse me, I've got to sneeze. Oh, best laid plans and all that. So, I'm not sick, by the way, I'm all good. So, when you're sitting relaxing, just take that moment. Now you could even, I was talking about using an object, you could even just focus on your breathing. So you don't even need to have an object in your hands, you could just use that little exercise I gave you there and just concentrate on your breathing. Now one of the tips I would give you when you're doing mindfulness is to be not judgmental of yourself. Like I was saying already, the brain is programmed to think. We want it to think. We're going to feel lots of different range of emotions throughout the day. So you can understand by the time it gets the evening, or if you're in a situation where you've got a lot going on, your mind is going to be going off into a wee tangent. So the purpose is really just to bring your thoughts back to the present, but not being judgmental. So when you're doing this exercise, if you find that you've got thoughts of today, or even just 5 minutes ago, or anything at all that's in your mind, don't say to yourself, oh, I'm rubbish at this. Just acknowledge the thought and let it pass. You could even imagine it floating off like a butterfly. So just acknowledge the thought and let it pass. So good if you just sit for just a second and observe a breathing. Any thoughts that come in, let them pass. Let them float off. They're not serving any purpose for you at the moment, so just let them go. We're not being judgmental. We're just being present in our thoughts. Concentrating on our breathing. So now you've got that little bit of relaxation and you're relaxed down a little bit. Pick up your object. So whatever object you choose to pick up. I think I'm going to use my little good luck charm. And the exercise we're going to do is really just to focus on the object. Now it's just like when you were concentrating there on your breathing, all you're doing is you're really just thinking about the object. So pick it up and just start to look at it, touch it and feel it. And if there's any thoughts again come into your mind that they're not anything to do with the object that you've got in your hand at the moment, just let it pass, let it go, release it. So just touch it. What colour? What colour is it? Is there different markings on it? Does the colour change as you move it? Is it different shapes? Any different sizes within the shapes? Does it shine in a light? And then think about how it feels. Is it smooth or rough to the touch? And what shape is it? You hold it gently in your hand. What shape is it? Has it got any edges on it? Has it got any bumps? Is it smooth or rough? I'm going to look at the tassels on this and just seeing how it looks as I pass it through my hand there. So I'm just going to sit quiet just for a few seconds and just enjoy the touch and the colours of your object. Excuse me. If any thoughts come into your mind that are anything but apart from what you're doing at the present moment, just release them, let them go, acknowledge them. It's okay that they were there, just let them go. So you're continuing to look and touch and feel and see the object. And that's the important thing, it's like you're actually seeing it for the first time. It's the first time that I've looked at this and there's little flowers on it. I hadn't noticed that before. What about your object? Does it have a smell? So you're smelling the fragrance of it. It may not have a smell and that's okay. And again, if your thoughts drift off to something else, just pull it back. That's okay. We're okay with that. We're not being judgmental. Sorry, my daughter's out the window. So we're smelling and we're seeing and we're touching. We're seeing the object thoroughly as it is in the present. So we did take quite a few minutes to go through that, and that's okay. But you find if you're in a situation where you need a kind of quick stop to pull your mind into calibrating it again, so if you find that you're going into that spiral, just grab anything and start to touch it and feel it, look at it and see it for the first time. Bring your mind into balance and just use that object and allow it just to be, just be present with your object. I tend to find if I'm in a situation where I'm feeling particularly anxious about something and I'm looking to recalibrate my thoughts, I might even just take myself off to the toilet. I might just go and stand outside and I might just breathe in the air. Just stop to breathe the air and smell the air round about you. If you have your crystal in your pocket, you could just be having a look at it and touching it and feeling it. I tend to like a crystal that has a little dent in it, because then my thumb gets in it and I could just feel it. And it's very soothing, even just sitting stroking the crystal. Like I said before, with crystals at least you're getting the healing benefits from it as well. So that exercise only needs to take just a few minutes. It doesn't have to take a long time, or do you know what, there's actually no rules. If you feel that you want to sit and look at something for half an hour, then that's up to you, that's your time. It's about how you want to use that time. So moving forward with your object, like I said, you could do it for a short period or you could do it for a long period. That's absolutely fine. It's entirely up to yourself. It's your moment. But the recalibration, I tend to find, is it's very good for a quick hit. Now, when I was running one of the management courses a few weeks ago, so I'm in the room speaking to all these managers and they're under a lot of pressure in their day jobs. And I'm like, what is it that you do that you find that you could take a break or take yourself away from a situation to recalibrate? And one of the welders actually said he had a crystal. I was quite surprised at that. You should never judge a book by its cover. I didn't expect him to say that, but he had a crystal in his pocket and he says, do you know, I actually touch and feel, and he does the recalibration as well. But other people were saying things like, oh, I go and get a cup of tea and I just go for a walk. And that's absolutely great. But by practicing the mindfulness practice, it's not just about the act of going for a walk or having a cup of tea. It's like, well, did you actually taste the tea? Did you smell the tea? Did you feel the texture of the tea as it goes down your throat? The heat, the smell, the flavours of the tea. So you're actually bringing yourself back to that present moment in time to allow your brain to recalibrate and just to reduce the anxiety that you're feeling that's building up inside of you. Now later in the week we will be going for a wee mindful walk, so I've been going for my little walks just down the road with my wee doggy, with Gus. So we'll do a wee mindful walk later as well. Again, it's just going to be little short sessions that we're going to be doing, and it's just to get you into the way of being mindful. And the purpose of that, the more you do that, is the more that you start to become in control of your thoughts, and you'll start to recognise these anxious thoughts or signs of anxiety as it starts to build up. So then you can take control before it actually spirals out of control. So little practices. So start with your object, see how you get on, give it a go, and then we'll get back together tomorrow and we'll see what that looks for you. Let me know how you get on with it, and let me know if you need any more hints or tips. Quite happy to answer any messages if you've got any messages about it. So key points: be present and be non-judgmental about yourself. It will take a bit of practice, and if any thoughts drop in, just acknowledge them and just let them go. So I'm going to finish that for this evening, and I wish you well. Let me know how you get on, let me know your thoughts. Okay, have a lovely evening, stay safe. Thank you.